Hi, it's Natalie from Green Schools, and next week is Earth Day on April 22nd. So I thought we would do a short little video that you could share with your students um, so they can celebrate Earth Day. So Earth Day is all about our Earth. It's about, I'm going to move myself here. It's about this beautiful thing. So it's about our Earth and thinking about our Earth, because our Earth gives us everything we need to survive. So our Earth gives us the air we need to breathe. The Earth gives us the food and energy that we need to do our work. The Earth gives us the shelter, our homes, and it gives us the water that we need to have every day. So the Earth gives us our basic needs. But we have to look after our Earth. So it's a really fun time to watch some of these videos like Planet Earth. There's lots of great videos online that are free and also on Netflix. So watch them and connect with the Earth a little bit. So once a year on Earth Day is when we, the humans of the Earth, start to think about what impact we're having on the Earth. 7 billion people. What are we doing to the Earth? How are we treating the Earth? What do we need to change? This is what Earth Day is all about. There's lots of really fun videos from Nature Speaks on Mother Earth, talking about Earth as our home. They're really fun to watch too. So this year is exciting because this year is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. So 50 years ago, on April 22nd, is when Earth Day started. And 50 years ago, basically, millions of people in the US started to ask these questions. What are we doing to our Earth? Why are we polluting our water and our air and our food? And it's becoming more and more hard for people to have their shelter, and animals too. What are we doing to our Earth? And millions of people took to the street and were asking these questions. And all of a sudden they realized, wow, we can make a difference. So after the very first Earth Day, big changes happened. So there was a whole rules about how we can treat our air. There were rules about how we can treat our water, new rules about how we are treating the other animals and plants that are living on this earth with us. So the first Earth Day was a massive success. So no wonder it's continued for 50 more years. So every following Earth Day is a time for us humans to go, what are we doing? What's some big problems? What are our solutions? We always have solutions. Humans are great for ideas. But when we focus on one, we make big changes. So when we focus on, oh my goodness, we're producing so much waste. Well, let's reduce. Let's reuse, let's recycle. A few years ago it was like, oh my gosh, we're putting so much plastic into our environment and it's making its way into the ocean. Well, what can we do? Well, let's get rid of plastic bags. Let's stop using straws and single-use plastic spoons and forks. Look at all these chemicals that we're putting in. Oh my goodness, they're hurting the other animals and the humans and the plants and our Earth itself. Well, we need to do something about that. So Earth Day has helped a lot. So this year's theme, big 50th anniversary, the theme is climate action. And basically, if every person in the world picked one thing to do to help with climate and the climate, how it's changing, that would be billions of acts of green. So that's this year's theme. That's your challenge. Can you pick one thing to do? Because our climate is changing. Our Earth is actually getting warmer. And it's because of the way we're living. It's the acts that we do every day that are warming our planet. So if we change even just one of those acts, we will help decrease that increase in temperature. We will not be warming up our Earth. Because once we warm up our Earth, all kinds of other things happen. Our sea level is rising. Our seasons are shifting, which impacts our food supply, not only when we can toboggan. Climate change is also bringing in extreme weather events, like big windstorms, big rainstorms, more intense hurricanes. And in some areas, we're having drought. So some countries have had years and years of drought. And we also have times of dryness too, like here in Nova Scotia. And our summers have been getting more and more dry. So climate change is happening. It's starting to really impact our basic needs like food and water, are two big things, and our shelters here in Nova Scotia. So what are our actions for the earth? What can we do? Well, there's so many things that we can do, and all kinds of different levels of actions. We can have our personal actions. We can do actions in school, but we're not in school right now. We can do actions around our house, and we can do actions in our community. No matter what level you do these actions on, they're going to make a big difference. But right now, we're all safe in our homes, so we can look at our actions, our individual actions, and we can look at our actions in our households. So, things we can do. Easy things. Open your blinds every morning. That could be your action. Using natural light rather than turning on artificial lights. Turning off unnecessary lights. Easy, easy, easy to do. You can turn down the heat and put sweaters on. Instead of when you get cold cranking up the heat, put on a sweater, put on socks, use a blanket. Whenever we produce heat in our homes, we are using a lot of fossil fuels, which is warming up our climate. Easy one to do now that we are at home is avoid food waste. This is mine for Earth Day. This is my pledge. I have a note on my fridge that we eat our leftovers first. We eat the food that's going to go bad. It takes a huge amount of resources and energy to grow our food, ship our food. So avoiding food waste has a huge impact on helping our Earth and decreasing climate change. Getting outside is a really easy one. And I know some of us can't get outside right now, but for the ones of us that can, get outside and enjoy the nature. We don't need lights when we're outside. We don't need heat when we're outside. That's an easy one to do if we're able to right now. A fun thing to do is just wear green and blue on Earth Day, and it'll remind you to make choices for the Earth. Maybe on Earth Day you could power down. Maybe once a week you could have a day where you don't go on your electronics, that you make sure you're conscious about turning off the light and not keeping the fridge open. Just looking at the amount of energy you use. Easy actions for the Earth. Green Schools is a program from Efficiency Nova Scotia, and Efficiency Nova Scotia has a big goal of basically helping everybody in Nova Scotia have better actions for climate and for the Earth. So they have some free programs. They aren't going out into homes right now with these programs, but their number is still available to talk about all the programs that do exist if your family is thinking about any changes. So check out their website. They even have a thing where you can go through and do a little review of your house. Kind of fun. So the challenge from this is for all of us, the billions of people in the earth, to have one thing that you're going to do for Earth Day. You're going to have one pledge. So this one is use both sides of the paper. One, you're not using as much trees. Trees take carbon dioxide out of the air. That's the gas that is warming up our Earth. So something as simple as using both sides of the paper is a huge action for climate change. So it's all about decreasing that ecological footprint that we have. So how much land, how much earth we use, how much pollution do we release into the earth? Let's shrink that ecological footprint by making one change. And we have the Sammy the Sasquatch video. I'm not going to show it to you right now, but check it out. A lot of you guys have seen this. It gives you ideas of what somebody with a big ecological footprint looks like and what somebody with a small ecological footprint. Maybe you can see what action you could take. And then shrink your footprint. Maybe trace your foot and make that climate action written down. Make that thing, whether it's going to be turning off the lights, whether it's for me trying to decrease my food waste. That's our challenge this year for Earth Day. Make an action for climate change. And so make your pledge. There are so many ideas and so easy to do. So thank you very much for listening. And we would be more than happy to book we have at-home webinars still going on and classroom webinars. Join us online so you can connect and learn about the earth. But the biggest thing is make the pledge. Make a climate action pledge. Thank you.